Howdy y'all, Brother Damon Chief Jones here. God bless you all for being here. Thank you, I love y'all. I love all of y'all. I'm praying for all of y'all to have a super blessed day in Jesus. Anyway, I probably got 20, maybe 30 emails over the last 3, maybe 6 weeks. People said, please explain about the First Amendment audit. A First Amendment audit. Didn't even hear of it. Didn't even hear the term until maybe a year or two ago. I can't really remember. Then 6 to 9 months ago, I actually saw some First Amendment audits on video. Well, a First Amendment audit would be just like any audit. An audit is a check on a system or a program that you have set up in your home, business, or government, okay? So you're going to give your children an audit on their chores. You're going by to see if they're done, if they're doing them, if it's correct, okay? So we have a thing called the Constitution of the United States. It's a covenant. Why is it not a contract? It doesn't have an expiration date. There are two-way terms in it. God gave us our rights at birth or at creation. From that point forward, you have these rights. Okay, and you never lose these rights because God gave them to you at the moment of creation. Okay, and the Constitution, it's not like when people say, hey, I got a constitutional right. Really, that's not accurate. That's not really accurate. But I'll tell you why before you jump on me and send me 4 million emails. Because the Constitution is the government's limitation on itself. On itself. Let me say it one more time. It's a limitation on itself. We put a limit on our servants of what they could do, and we most expressly wrote some protections in there for the people, such as they can't interfere with our right to keep guns, to buy them, sell them, trade them, and keep them, however many we want. Well, anyway, a First Amendment audit isn't to piss nobody off. It isn't to say I'm a hot dog or I'm a big boy and I'm going to try and push my weight around. It isn't none of that. A First Amendment audit is a man or a woman, and preferably in today's society, because the government has become a clamshell like this here, and it's hard to pry them open to see on the inside. They're supposed to be like this, but they're like this and they get even tighter, okay? And the reason government bucks and pulls back and pushes away and threatens you with jail and all this other stuff is because when government isn't sure if it's doing the right thing, it's just a question mark. Question? I can't do a question mark, but when it's a question mark, they say, butter back up, butter retreat, butter send the cavalry to run them nosy people off. Well, we ain't doing nothing illegal, but they just did because they're infringing on our right to audit our own government and to verify our government's operating correctly, because if it's not, then we have a right, or more than that, a duty to correct it and to fix it individually and collectively, okay? Well, if they're trying to run you off, maybe they got something to hide. If they try and run me or somebody else off, what are they hiding? What are you doing wrong? You answer our questions. You show us your ID. We don't have to do that, but you do. You're a government employee. You have to identify yourself to me. You have to tell me what you do. You have to tell me. You have to answer some basic questions of mine. It ain't a two-way street. It's a one-way street. You work for me. I'm the taxpayer, and you're the public servant that lives off of my money. So when you ain't doing right, I need to know it so I can go up the chain and get it fixed. So the First Amendment audit is to go out and just be there, just physically be there with your camera. They act like a camera is a gun and act like you got your gun pointed at them and they're in imminent danger of harm or death. Excuse me, that's how they act. But the truth is, if you were standing there without a camera, moseying around, they probably wouldn't say nothing or do nothing, because it's just your word against their word and just what you're reporting you saw. But once you got a video